Chanting "Women, Life, Freedom," thousands of people gathered at Aichi Cemetery in Kurdistan Province, the final resting place of Mahsa Amini. Mourners are heard calling the province the fascist graveyard. Hours later, this was the scene in the city of Saqqez as security forces fought with people. Semi-official news agencies say nearly 10,000 came out to mark the 40th day since Mahsa Amini died in police custody in Tehran. University students across the country also remembered her. This group is singing, "From the blood of the youth of the homeland, tulips have grown." Scuffles broke out in another university across the city, and police used tear gas to disperse students in at least 2 institutions in Tehran. The student protests were not just in the capital, but across the country. This was the scene in the city of Karaj, with many chanting freedom. And in the second largest city, Mashhad, students have been protesting since the death of Mahsa Amini last month. Protests are not limited to only schools. This is Tehran's Grand Bazaar on Wednesday. Mahsa was visiting relatives with her brother in the capital when she was detained by the so-called morality police for not wearing the mandatory headscarf properly. The police released the security camera footage, saying it shows Mahsa arriving at a facility for so-called re-education class on the religious benefits of wearing a headscarf. According to the official autopsy and a government investigation, Mahsa had a pre-existing health condition and suffered a heart attack. Her family says this is not true and says she was beaten while in custody. Government supporters also rallied across the country. The president addressed the issue in a live televised interview.
I told her family that this news was shocking, not just for me, but for every Iranian. Criticism and dialogue on various issues have a place in the Constitution and can help us in the decision-making process. But the distinction between protest and riot should be defined.
Earlier this month, President Raisi visited an all-female university in Tehran where he praised the achievements of women in academia. At the same time, these university students chanted, "Raisi get lost," outside the building. This is the area where Iran's morality police arrested Mahsa Amini on a Tuesday afternoon. Since then, they haven't been seen much in the city. Whatever happens next year, regardless of which version of events people believe, it is clear that Mahsa Amini's death has changed this country. Dorsa, Jabbari, Al Jazeera, Tehran.